Today's video is about something that will be of interest to bloggers, vloggers, YouTubers, you name it, of any age. What happens when you can't make it to a conference and you feel FOMO, fear of missing out? You fear that you missed out on something and your life, your blogging life, is going to be dead just because you didn't go to the conference. I just returned from a wonderful conference called We All Grow Summit, which I have been speaking at for the past 4 years. HarperCollins took me this year again so that I could sign copies of my book, Tu Mejor Edad para Tener una Vida Extraordinaria, Your Best Age to Have an Extraordinary Life, again by HarperCollins. And I had a great time at the conference, but it was the first year where many of my peers were unable to go, and I felt really bad for them. I actually did a Facebook Live about this, and it was so well received that I thought, I have to do a video that just stays there and people can watch. If you're an online content creator, no matter how young or how old you are, I know that conferences are life-changing. They have been for me. I've been in this space for many years. I've attended a lot of conferences as a speaker, as an attendee, as a spokesperson. And although it's a wonderful investment, because I know there's nothing better than face-to-face with a brand, with your peers, the experience. There's just so much bonding that goes on, and the learning. There's also learning going on. Let's say you couldn't make it, or there's a conference coming up and you can't go. You just can't be there because your kid got sick, or you didn't get the time off of work, or you didn't have the money, whatever. You just couldn't go. So instead of feeling sorry for yourself, I'm going to give you some alternatives. And this is from experience, because I also miss out on conferences. I would love to be at South by Southwest right now, but I can't. So this is what I do when I cannot make it to a conference. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, and don't think that because you're at home you cannot engage with the conference. It's almost like you're there if you engage with the brands via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. And you can do that with the sponsors, with the speakers, with the attendees. The important thing is to be a part of the digital conversation even if you are not there. If you're seeking to work with a brand and you've worked with them before, use the hashtag that they're using at the conference. If you are a user of their product, even better. Take a photo of yourself using the product and say, hey, I am so sorry I'm missing you at your suite at XYZ conference, and use the hashtag, but here I am at home taking advantage of your wonderful products that make my hair look so great. For example, that's just one of the things you can do. When people say, oh my gosh, there's so much swag at this or that conference, and feeling bad because they're missing out on the swag. Well, if you paid for your ticket and you paid your airfare and your hotel and whatever other expenses you have, that's some expensive swag. You could have gone to Target and bought it for yourself for a lot less money, let me tell you. If you want to learn, this is what I do. I taught myself to speed read years ago, because I don't have time to absorb all the information that I need to know to run my business. I read at least a couple of books a week on the internet, on blogging, on success, on leadership, etc. And I can pick and choose what I read. I don't need to go to a conference to learn. There are also TED Talks online, and videos, and Marie Forleo, Danielle Laporte. Anybody who motivates you probably has videos and chats and talks and articles and stuff that you can be watching from the comfort of your own home instead of seeing them at a conference. A conference is wonderful, but again, this is if you cannot make it to that conference to learn. Be self-taught. That goes a long way. Be proactive about your business. Let's say you didn't make it to the conference for a reason unrelated to money. Well, guess what? You can invest that money on your business. Maybe there is something that you need to do, like hire a virtual assistant, or perhaps find yourself a business manager. Last year, I was going to do Marie Forleo's B School, and something told me that I needed to do something different. I needed to have a strategy session with a professional, and I did that with Joanna Voss. Look her up. She's been my business manager for a year, and she turned my business upside down in a good way. It was the best investment ever. Sure, that B School is wonderful, but at the place I was at, what I really needed was to hire someone who would do the things that I am not good at, the things that I don't have time to do because I'm creating content and she can take care of the business. So maybe that's what you need. Take a portion of what you would have spent on the conference and invest it in growing your business. Weren't invited to speak at the conference even though you presented a panel or a workshop? So what? You have YouTube, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, and you can share your knowledge there. If the only motivation for you to share what you know is getting paid or being in front of a certain set of people and all that, then maybe you have to question the motives. Like, why do you really want to be there? Is it an ego thing? You don't need a conference to share your knowledge. If what you wanted out of the conference was mentorship, seek out your mentors online. I have mine, and I also mentor other people. Now, it usually doesn't work in the way of somebody coming up and saying, will you be my mentor? It really doesn't, because I don't know. I don't know if you can keep up with me. I don't know if you're going to follow through with my tips. I don't know if you're a hustler. I don't know. And by hustler, I mean somebody who actually, walks the walk. I don't ask people, will you be my mentor either. It happens or it doesn't happen. Be strategic about what you're going to do next year. If you can only go to one conference or 0 conferences or whatever, just, make that decision, make it beforehand. I'm not going to a conference unless it's XYZ type of conference, or unless all my expenses are paid for, or unless I'm speaking, or whatever. If you make that decision beforehand, you will not have to make the decision every time a conference comes up. Whatever your decision is, stick to it, and remember, you don't need anybody to choose you. You need to choose yourself. If you enjoyed this little pep talk, look at my other videos, and don't forget to I always say this wrong. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I said it.